In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Sun Tzu said that centuries ago about warfare, but it also applies to facility maintenance. Sometimes letting equipment fail isn't a mistake. It's an opportunity to save time, money, and resources. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You've heard the phrase 100 times. But what if I told you that, in some industries, that's exactly the plan? Not fixing things until they break isn't lazy, it's strategic. Welcome to Run-to-Failure Maintenance, or RTF for short, one of the most misunderstood approaches in the world of asset management. In this video, we'll break down what run-to-failure really means, when to use it, and how to implement it without risking chaos or costly downtime. Run-to-failure maintenance is a planned strategy where equipment is allowed to operate until it fails. But unlike reactive maintenance, which happens when something breaks unexpectedly, run-to-failure is intentional. It's used for specific types of assets where it's actually more efficient to let them fail before repairing or replacing them. So when does this make sense? Think about components like light bulbs, air filters, or inexpensive bearings. These are parts that are easy to replace, low in cost, and don't shut down your entire operation when they fail. That's the sweet spot for run-to-failure, non-critical, low-impact, and easy-to-manage assets. On the flip side, you should never use run-to-failure on equipment that affects safety, causes cascading failures, or is critical to your operations' uptime. Here's the difference. Reactive maintenance is fixing something you forgot about. Preventive maintenance is fixing it on a schedule, whether it needs it or not. But run-to-failure, that's knowing the part will fail and planning for it in advance. It's reactive in execution but proactive in strategy. Now let's talk benefits. Run-to-failure can significantly reduce your maintenance costs. You're not wasting labor or parts replacing something that's still working perfectly. You're also simplifying your planning. No need for complex schedules or unnecessary inspections. Best of all, you free up your team to focus on equipment that actually needs their attention. But of course, there are risks. If you choose the wrong asset for run-to-failure, you might experience unplanned downtime, increased operational costs, or worse, safety incidents. That's why planning is everything. So how do you implement a smart run-to-failure strategy? Here's a 6-step process. Step 1. Conduct an asset inventory. Identify all your equipment and then separate the critical from the non-critical. Look for assets that won't impact safety, operations, or productivity if they stop working. Step 2. Perform a failure mode and effects analysis, also known as FMEA. This helps you understand how an asset fails, how often it fails, and what the consequences are. If failure is low impact and predictable, that's a good candidate for run-to-failure. Step 3. Plan your spares and replacements. Make sure you have the necessary replacement parts in stock or that you can get them quickly. Your response time is key, especially when equipment fails during production hours. Step 4. Monitor and collect data. Even if you're not doing preventive work, it pays to track runtime and log every failure. Use a basic computerized maintenance management system or spreadsheet to capture data. Over time, this helps you predict when assets are likely to fail. Step 5. Train your maintenance team. They should know exactly what to do when a failure happens. The faster they can respond, the less impact a breakdown will have. And finally, Step 6. Review and refine the process. Over time, some assets may start to fail more often or become more critical to your operations. Be ready to reclassify them and adjust your strategy accordingly. Here's a real-world example. A manufacturing plant decided to use run-to-failure for its conveyor belt roller bearings. These bearings were cheap, easy to replace, and didn't stop production when they failed. So instead of scheduling regular inspections and replacements, the team just kept spares on hand and replaced them only when they failed. The result? Lower costs, faster workflows, and zero unnecessary maintenance. Run-to-failure maintenance isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing what's necessary, only when necessary. When done right, it's one of the most efficient and resource-smart strategies in your maintenance toolkit. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more breakdowns on smart industrial strategies. Got a question or want us to cover a specific topic? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and remember, not every breakdown is a failure. Sometimes it's just part of the plan.